Welcome to Mixed Minds. Today, dear learners, we're going to talk about Robert Frost and his poetry. So, Robert Frost was an American poet who talked about rural life and nature, and his personal life was very disturbed, and he was a depressed soul because he had doubts about his own self, about his capacity as a poet and his abilities. He doubted himself a lot, and he had a very difficult family life because his children died early and his wife also died of a heart attack, and his son committed suicide, and his daughter also had some mental issues, and she was in the end in a mental rehabilitation. So today we're going to talk about his poem Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening. Robert Frost talks about nature. So the first stanza is about, we're gonna explain it line by line. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. In this first stanza, he's talking about the woods, and he's there among the woods, and he's predicting that the person, or maybe he is knowing the owner of those woods, and he is saying that the owner of the woods is living far away in a village, and he will not be able to see his presence over here, that he is stopping by the woods and he is about to encounter this situation of the snowfall. He's about to encounter that, but the owner is a person who's living far away, and he won't be able to have that chance to see the snowfall, the first snowfall in the woods. The second stanza, my little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He is on a horseback, and he says that the horse that is with me, the horse would find it strange that why am I standing or stopping by the woods? Why am I away from a civilization or away from a society, because it's all dark and the frozen lake is near, and it is evening and it is very long night because it's winters is shown. So in winters it is usually the nights are very long and the days are very short. So the poet is saying that the horse finds it awkward and strange that why are we not staying or stopping by some farmhouse, by some people in order to communicate with them, and why are we stopping over here in nature where there's nobody, there's only darkness that we're surrounded by, and it's only that one being over there, the person who's stopping, and it's all calm. The third stanza, he gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. He's saying that there's so much quiet in the woods because it's nighttime and it's winter, and usually in winters when it's snowing nobody moves around at night, and people sleep early, and due to the cold and the snow there's no sound, and there's only the sound of the horse bell that is moving. There's only that sound of the harness bell of the horse, the strap around the horse, and the sound is of the wind and the snowflakes that are falling down. There's no other sound. It shows an atmosphere of so calm and so peaceful, and such a subtle atmosphere is shown over here that there's only the sound of wind, and people can breathe in that, and enjoy that moment. The last stanza: the woods are lovely and dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. In this last stanza, the poet is saying that the woods, they're very lovely, they're very dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. Over here, it means that the poet likes the nature, he wants to stay and enjoy that moment and that time in the woods, but he has promises to keep, which indicates that he has duties to fulfill and he has to reach his destination before he can sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So he has a lot of time to he is supposed to travel a lot of miles, and that is going to consume a lot of time because he has to ultimately reach his destination before he can rest. So this poem basically has expressed three major themes over here: nature versus society. That people nowadays have become so much social and so much busy in their social life and their worldly affairs that they have forgotten the importance of nature. They have forgotten to love the nature. They have forgotten to understand and praise the nature, to see the beauty of nature. We are a civilization that is away from nature because we are busy in the technological world. Then another aspect that this poem highlights is the social obligations and personal desire. Robert Frost basically he talks about rural life a lot in his poetry, and he praises it. But it is his desire that it is his personal desire that he wants to stay in the woods, as it is explained in the last stanza, that the woods are lovely, dark, and deep. There's a lot of understanding, there's a lot of another world, another imagination, another aura of that place, of the woods. But this is his personal desire that he wants to stay over there, and he wants to attain that peace, that entertainment, that pleasure from that situation, from that atmosphere in which he is standing over there, as the snow is falling and he's only hearing the sound of the snowflakes and the easy wind and nothing else. There's so much calm over there. But he has social obligations. It highlights that our duty and obligation is important, it is something sacred. So we have to fulfill our obligations, of our social obligations and duties, before we fulfill our desires. The third aspect in this poem that is highlighted is hesitation and choice. Hesitation is that he is hesitating whether he should move on with his journey or he should just stay there and enjoy the moment, enjoy the scenery that is before his eyes, that is unveiling before his eyes. But he takes up this choice that no, he has some duties that he has to fulfill and he has to go back to his destination. So he picks up the right choice of his life, that there are some fulfillments that he has to keep and he has to fulfill them. So he must reach his destination on time. That was all in today's video.